let's say they're jumping on the couch, you don't want them to jump on the couch. Instead of saying don't jump on the couch, we don't jump on the couch. Mommy doesn't jump on the couch. Grandmas don't jump on the couch because we want to be safe. Wouldn't want anybody to fall off. But let's jump over here. I can set up a little cushion over for you. You want to jump in, jump out. But saying we don't do this. Not just saying you don't do this because then it separates you, right? But it's like we don't do this as humans, like in general. Like you're new here. Let me show you around, right?
I love that.
But it's showing them those expectations because sometimes they think if it was like at a job and you just got hired, but nobody tells you what to do or what you're allowed to do or where you eat or where the snack room, where do you take a break, why you park here. Like if nobody tells you, you're just going to start doing stuff, but then get in trouble because nobody told you. Like that's not fair. Right? And I think that it's a big importance also in that flexibility where it's not just white and black. You're wrong, you're right, you're terrible, or you're good. It's things happen and there's different things we can do about them. Hey, let's talk about different things we can do. And that opens up this like freedom of, okay, I'm not making mistakes. I'm not a terrible person. This isn't like awful and bad. It's just like, okay, this happened. How do we problem solving, I guess.
Absolutely.
I also want to spend a few minutes on maybe some because I think a lot of this is a great foundation how you do speech and communication at home, right? Not only like actually speaking, but also that nonverbal communication and helping our kids really strive, like give them really all the tools that they could possibly need. But let's spend a few moments if you had to. Oh, you know what? One of my friends that just had a baby. No, one of my friends, her sister just had a baby, like literally 2 or 3 days ago. And so she was like, "Come meet the baby." You know, she's excited. She's the aunt, and I'm like, "I'm gonna give you guys a few weeks to adjust. It's a really hard, like everything's brand new."
Yeah.
And she asked about something, so it made me. I gave her some tips that she asked about, and it made me think of like, whoa, babyhood, like newborn, mine's 2, seems so long ago. It's like, I don't even think of those things, right? But I remember in that moment when you're just right in it, you're just like, I don't know if I'm going to survive. I don't know if I'm going to make this. Is this going to keep going forever? What am I even doing? And that kind of stretches, I think, for the first 2 years. And maybe on and on, because it's like, what are we all doing?
It could definitely do that for sure.
Yeah. But it made me think of like, man, starting as a fresh new baby, right? And you're just so new and young. And you don't know
I love
anything.
what you said. Oh, you're new around here.
Oh, you're new around here. Hey, are you new around here?
Amazing thing to point out.
Well, it's true. Like, they are so new. And I often think of, like, the party example where if your friend invites you to a party, you don't know anyone. So you're just going to stand next to them, right? Because, like, you don't even know why you're here. But if your friend leaves, you're going to be like, oh, my God, I'm all alone. And so I think that's how babies are with moms, right? They're just like, okay, Mom, we're at this party, but, like, what's going on here? Like, what is that? That makes noises. That does water. Like, I don't know who these people are. And they can't see when they're first, right? It's like they can only see when Mommy's up close and they can smell her, and everything else is like, it'd be terrifying if you don't know what noises and sounds were happening around you at all times. Like, that would be terrifying to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was a couple of studies, one in particular that stands out, and it's why nurturing and loving and holding a child is so important, because it quite literally helps them integrate into this experience, into being here. And there was once a study that was done that eons ago, quite honestly. And this person, I think it was a king or an emperor of some sort, believed that children just learn language on their own, that they're not actually that they're born with it, and that they don't have to cultivate anything. And because they weren't held, they were only fed and changed, they weren't talked to. And then another group of children were fed, were cared for, were taken care of. And the children that were not taken care of did not survive. And it quite literally is truly important to nurture and to support and to hold that baby as they're growing in those early months, because they have no idea what's going on. And that nervous system quite literally is working to survive, but also needs that energetic, loving component of being cared for, of being picked up, of being held.
Right. Well, I go into a panic mode, right? It's a safety thing. If I don't feel safe, my entire body's working on the way of like, if somebody pops out, do I need to do, right? It's like you're just going through all of these what ifs. Right. It's the scariest thing to do, even in like physicality of things, like starting a new job, moving to a new place, because we don't know what's going to happen. It's the unknown that's so scary.
Or completely blank when you're born, when you're a baby. For the most part, almost nearly blank. But
Right. It would be terrifying. And so it's hard to learn on top of that or absorb anything in, because you're spending so much time just like, I don't know where I'm going to be today. Sometimes I'm on this mat, sometimes on this thing. I don't know if I'm going to fall off. Things are moving. I don't even know these are people. Right? Yeah. It's like, this is a dog, but my mom doesn't look like that. She doesn't even have a tail. Like, I don't even know. Right? It's like, what's this hot box?
Language for that, yeah.
Right. It's like food appears. I don't know, but now they're yelling at me because I'm chewing. But they always give me stuff to chew. So why is it? Why did it change now? It just. I just feel so bad, like to be not able to really express yourself or name things and be so unsure and unknown. It's just hard. Like, it's just, man. But like you said, like if they're loved and they're secure and safe and they don't have to worry about it, they can, oh, what's this? What's that?
They understand that there's something there taking care of them. They might not have a name for you or anything, but they understand that something is taking care of them. Something is keeping them safe.
Right.
Poor babies. Very uncertain in those first.
It'd be so hard. It's hard already when you go to a new town and you're an adult, but it's like, how do I make friends? How do I go? Where's the thing? You get stuck on a road. Everybody knows it's this road, but you didn't know that the light worked this, whatever. Like, simple things, but it's already difficult to not be able to communicate is hard. We're going to do, I feel like this is all speech language pathology that's going to help, but I keep feeling bad that we don't like fully dive into it.
There's so many things. I'll come back another time. That's great.
I want to have you back on. I'm going to have a weekly session with you, like self-discovery and humanity and living, because there's just so much into it. And I think
so much.
As we talk about like how we heal ourselves, and how can we help our kids not have to go through the same process, there's still going to be things they're going to have to do. But if I often think of like, if I wasn't spending my time right now cracking away at this like iceberg, just seeing what the heck the statue is going to look like on the inside later, I would be having a lot more time to learn or do more things or pick up a language or, whatever. And so there's so much weight and importance to it, because it's like, oh, we could save them 30 years. Right?
There's quite a bit, for sure.
They can make the world a better place.
Yeah, they will make a world a better place. They're also on their own experience of learning and how they'll evolve and grow. So I at least that to me is my personal opinion of we are here having our own experience, and we're all doing the best that we can. And they're going to have their beautiful genetic coding imprint from the combination of where they came from and how they're going, what skills are in their coding and what things they'll develop over their life and how they'll perceive things and how they'll interact in the world. I think is truly a beautiful thing that continues to offer nurturing and support, because we want what's best for them, and what's best for them is what they want and how they want to live their life. And that is truly the gift that parents and guardians are giving children is, I'm going to do my best to give you a really strong foundation and to love you and to support you. And then you get to choose, just like we've all gotten to choose.
I love that. I love talking to you.
I could talk to you for days, Lily.
Right? Sometimes I just get a pop-up question. I just had another question pop up that I want to discuss, and I'm like, that's going to send me discussing it for another 20 minutes, and we got to jump off. But I'm like, I get excited, and I think there's so much to discover as like humans are, what we're discovering now within ourselves. And I'm also excited in like 10 years, right? Because there's going to be these new advances and new things, and how much deeper and how much more knowledge maybe our kids will even have, and like resources that they're going to be able to tap into. because we're already like looking at the previous generation. We're like, oh wow, like right, like what were they doing? And we feel we're advanced compared to that, but our kids are going to be looking, saying,
even look at our grandparents and what they experienced. Like, so my parents are. My dad's actually turning 70 today.
Oh, happy birthday!
I know. Thanks. I'll let him know. And just what they experienced, and then what their parents experienced. The evolution of where we are is magnificent if you think about it.
Right. It's also how we, because it's in DNA coding, our parents first just had to survive, right? So it's like to make sure there was food and actual roof and shelter. And a lot of parents today, we still have to do things it's survival. Like we're calling it just paying mortgage, but like those are your
safety. It's survival. Yeah.
Right.
You need a roof over your head.
Right. And so there's a lot of triggers there and a lot of stress and pressure, but it makes sense, with more evolution and more like technology and education, although it's getting a little out of hand. I don't know about this ChatGPT where it's like passing all tests, doing this stuff. I'm like, it's running companies now.
Yeah.
So it's like, whoa.
It's very interesting where it's going. Extraordinarily interesting. And I don't know. I don't think you remember. I don't know if you experienced it. AOL dial-up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. No,
so
yeah.
It's impressive. And, with great power, we do have to be careful of how we use this. And there are people who will want to use it in a great way and people who might not want to use it in a great way. And fingers crossed that it works out for all of humanity.
Right.
Because sometimes
worried.
it can get really scary out there.